Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you all are having a great day so far. So today, as sort of a mid-week video, I am going to be unboxing and swapping the shell of the Nintendo 64 console that I have with this Crystal Limited Edition retro school. They sure know their audience. Nintendo 64 shell. I believe that this one is a purple choice that I have picked up from AliExpress. And I'm going to be replacing the existing shell on my Nintendo 64 console with the one that is in this package here. So I believe this package comes with the switches and the other components as well. Not entirely sure about that, but we will go ahead and see what that looks like as we unbox this and go ahead and get started with that. Regarding the Japanese PS1 lot series, I will be continuing with the next iteration of that. I have a few packages coming in the mail for the first and second consoles in that lot. Looks like there's something down here as well. So in the next video of that series, is there nothing else? Yeah. In the next video of that series, I'm going to be going ahead and taking a look at the third console in that lot. So stay tuned for that. It looks like it comes with, or this package comes with a Nintendo 64 a little badge with 3M tape on the back. This particular kit included tools as well. We have a typical Phillips head screwdriver, a game bit, which, that's interesting. And this smaller Phillips head screwdriver as well. Let's go ahead and use the tools that it came with. I'm just curious about their quality. Removing the bubble wrap. Let's see. We have this purple shell wrapped in this plastic. Initial impressions does not necessarily feel flimsy. It actually surprisingly has a good sort of weight to it. It's light, but it's strong. It does feel strong. In comparison to the plastic on the Nintendo 64, obviously this does feel stronger. And this is, of course, maybe a little bit thinner, but it's still plenty strong. So I think this will probably work out pretty well. Let's go ahead and move this top shell over to the side and see what else this comes with. These are little buttons and switches. I'm just going to go ahead and dump it here. So we have this expansion port adapter. Let's see. Here is the, on the right, the one on the original console. On the left, the one on the new board. They are about the same quality, I would say. I think, some might disagree with me, but They feel more or less similar, at least in my opinion. And over here are the little flaps that would be going on the inside here, similar to the gray flaps for that cartridge slot. We have these little rubber feet. These aren't rubber, actually. These are plastic. So excuse me for saying that. So down here, probably similar in quality. This looks to be well, it looks to be something, that's for sure. Here is a memory expansion port cover that would go on the top of the unit. The slider button for the power and the reset switch. Put that to the side. I believe this would be for the multi-out port on the back. The AV multi-out port. And these, what are these for? Probably screw posts of some type, some description. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. That's interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and put these on the side and proceed with disassembling the original console. So here we have the original Nintendo 64 console. I am going to begin by removing this RAM expander. This is a generic one since the original ones provided by Nintendo are ridiculously expensive. So yeah, this top thing is held in by these little screws. I think I might want to remove those. I don't know, we'll see. Turning over the console, we have what looks to be in the top right. And yeah, so top right towards the middle. I said right and I pointed here. Top right towards the middle and top left, we have crosshead screws. And the bottom right and the bottom left are those game bit screws. There's also a crosshead screw here in the bottom. Let's remove the crosshead screws first, and then let's remove the other game bit screws. Oh, this guy's a little stubborn. Yeah, I'm not making any progress on that particular screw. Let's try this again. Oh, wow. That is a plastic snap. So this console may or may not have been opened previously. Oh, wow. Screwed in very tightly. And it sort of doesn't help that the top of the console is rounded, so whenever you're trying to get any sort of force, any kind of torque on the screws, it's a little bit more difficult. Oh, well, he does not want to let go. Come on. Let's go. So keep in mind, if you would like to purchase a similar kit for yourself and you would like to do something like this, these screwdrivers are not magnetized. So it's just something to keep in mind. These things take a lot of torque. It makes me wonder if in the factory they use some kind of impact tool to put these consoles together. Or maybe these screws just seized after so many years and they fused with the plastic. Like I could see a little bits of plastic in the threads. You know, I really do think that it's just way too much force to take out these screws. Yeah. Just, wow. I am getting no torque with it. All right. Let's see if another screwdriver will be a viable option. Let's see. What do I have that is similar? Okay. Yeah, I think that's working a little bit better. It's hard to tell. So it's definitely a Phillips head, for sure. It's just catching and sliding off. Nope. Let's see. Huh. I was definitely not expecting these screws to be this stubborn. It's definitely not ideal. So right now I know I keep on moving this out of the camera, but I'm just trying to get a clear shot into this. Okay, yeah, that is definitely a Phillips head. A very, very stubborn Phillips head screw. Oh, my apologies. Bear with me for a second here. Damn. That's... Okay. So this is what the screw looks like. It was an absolute pain of a screw. You may or may not have about that much trouble because I think, you know, these screws, which have been basically fused with the plastic, takes a lot of torque to take them out. So if you don't have some kind of drill, what I had to do here is like hold it close to my body while twisting the screwdriver so I could get a little bit more torque to actually take the screw out. Maybe you could use a drill. I don't think these particular screws are going to be hard to find if you end up stripping them or whatever. But in any case, at least the game bit screws are coming out. So, or should be. Okay, and that one came out. Here's game bit 1. Okay. And there is game bit 2. Let's see how far along we are. I have a suspicion that that only removes the feet. Yeah. Well, that's always good. Now that the feet have been removed, let's see how far along we are. Let's see. Just gently prying it from side to side, seeing where the pressure is. It seems to be somewhere in the middle here. So probably this Phillips head screw. Now that the Phillips head screw is out, all the screws on the bottom have been removed. I'll once again going to keep my vacuum cleaner close to me just in case I get an unwanted surprise. And here is the interior of the Nintendo 64 console. We could see the heatsink, the various components. I think what we are going to be focusing on first is going to be this top shell. So I'm going to move the bottom shell to the side. And move these other individual pieces to the side as well. So, it's going to be a bigger one. Or are these 4? It's probably something on the bottom shelf. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing here is basically copying most of what we see from here onto the top half of the other shell. And I think depending on how you like to, I guess, do your workflow, it's easier to visualize it. At least for me, it's easier to visualize it when I have them side by side like this. And I'm just transferring parts over. Starting with this cartridge slot. Okay. Putting these 2 screws close by. Gently remove that. And we can see how these 2 pieces connect. So I'm just going to put these down to the side. Let's get an idea of how this works here. So there are little springs on the inside here. Let's take these out, remove the springs. Taking a closer look to see how this works. So they're held into place here, and the flap goes open like this. Okay. So it would be just like that. Let's go ahead and remove one. You would need to be very careful with these springs. Okay, let's see here. So we'll go behind. Oh, interesting. So this little edge of the spring goes into this slot over here, and the slot provides pressure for the flap to close whenever a cartridge is removed from the slot. That's something to keep in mind. So we've taken off the spring. Moving on to the next, just like this. Okay. And we will do the same for the other flap that we have here. Let's see. There's another groove on the inside here where the end, this end of the spring is going to be grinding up against. So backwards like this, and into this slot. This one fell out of its housing. So just like this. Now there's pressure. So you'll be holding this down with your fingers because there is pressure that's going to be pushing them out. So we will put this cartridge connector back. I believe I have it upside down. Or do I? Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So right now, just holding this cartridge slot down with my fingers, we can turn it over and see that the pressure of the springs is making this slot work as it should. Okay. Now we can go ahead and reinsert the screws. Okay. So these screw posts, this might not be surprising, but these screw posts are not pre-drilled. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Yeah. Stay where I want you to be. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's not great. Huh. Yeah, you are really screwing into just plastic. So even though this is a little bit tough, I would recommend not using a drill for this unless you have one that's variable speed and you have good control with, because if you drill with too much torque too quickly, then you can break these plastic posts, which is why I tend to do these things by hand, even if it takes a little bit more effort to do it. Let me see if I have a better bit in here. Something a little bit thicker. Oh no, it doesn't like me. Yeah. Let's see here. You know, I actually think that will probably be fine. Let's see. Let's move this one a little bit to make it even. There. Okay. So that cartridge slot is more or less complete. So moving towards the right, you see that we have these buttons. However, there are buttons that already came with the kit. So we have over on the left power, on the right reset. I believe they only fit in one way, so let's go ahead and put those in. So power should be facing upwards. Yep, so on the left is power. Left power and right reset. We already have a cartridge slot here for the RAM. And I think that is pretty much everything for the top shell. So let's go ahead and put that to the side. And begin taking a closer look at the bottom shell.